They come from an era of Zambian music that will never ever be forgotten. One from a boy band that made us feel like we had our own big time rush or One Direction, and the other who made rapping in a local language even cooler. J-Rocks and Willz. Mr. Nyufale joined me on the show today. How are you guys doing?
Good. All right.
I'm excited because we're celebrating 100 million streams in less than a week of a release.
170 in less than 24 hours.
So we're counting, eh? Yeah. We're counting. I'm excited about that. There's so much to cover when it comes to the project Social Introverts. But beyond that, this is a brand, Willz and J-Rocks, that has been going on for quite some time. You guys collaborated on music before then, but you guys were also leading individual acts, before that. One thing you spoke about before we came on was that the project initially was supposed to come in 2017, but we decided to give it to us, the fans, in 2024. Between now and then, a lot has happened in individual careers, so we'll unpack some of that before we get into the project. Jay, you went on to create content for TV, to create music, and also create a path for artists, young artists, with Headphone music. How has the journey been for you?
Tiring. Tiring but exciting, man. I like to create new things. I get bored every now and then, doing the same thing. So I like to get into, venture into different things just to, see what else I came onto this earth with. So the projects are moving well. I mean, there's the new project that we're doing now with Don and Jay, which is, doing very well. So it's crazy. I got kids that need me. I've got my existence that belongs to the people that, also needs to be present. So it's been crazy, but good.
Amazing. Willz, you've also had quite the, experience between now and then. And then one of those significant experiences is losing your mom, which kind of caused you to step back from the spotlight, and then now you're back. Why was it so important for you to do that in that moment? And also, how easy or hard was it to make the decision to come back into music and into the spotlight of it all?
Apart from losing my mom, I was also in a scandal. I was swindled some money by a business partner, so it was just a lot going on. And then how music is. Creatives have to have free minds. They don't need to have a lot on their plate. So I just felt like I needed a break, of which I did. That didn't mean I wasn't recording. I was recording, but I wasn't putting music out, because if you're putting music out, you need to be pushing it. You need to be investing.
You need to show
money.
Up to the Upville.
Exactly. So hence the disappearing, but I'm back now.
I'm excited about this. I'm back now because Social Introverts, over 100 million streams in just 24 hours of its release. But let's go back to the genesis of this. This is a project that was supposed to hit the waves in 2017. What happened? Why was there a 7-year delay between there and now?
It wasn't we can't say this was the exact project, but the idea of having a joint project came about in 2017. And then we recorded a few songs, and me and Jay fell out, and none of those songs made it to this new project. Yeah, so the songs that are on this Social Introvert album are all new songs we just recently recorded.
I'm excited about that. Let's speak about the fallout. What exactly went down, Jay?
I honestly feel like the bigger thing is the music, you know what I mean? Because looking at the space that we're in, we're trying to position the music and make sure the music works. What's happening, it's almost the same as when two friends imagine two friends don't agree on something, and then you take that same the thing you don't agree on, and you put it in the public domain. So, oh, we didn't disagree because we will say this and I say this and this is that. Yeah. I think that's between the friendship. There's when something happens in the public domain, then it belongs in that space. Then you have to start explaining. So it was actually just a few misunderstandings here and there that we, later on when we discussed the thing, we're like, okay, the confusion wasn't really within our space. It was just coming from the outside, you know what I mean? So I like to focus more on where we're going, and if it was like a thing that happened on TV or at Monday Hill or any of these places and it was captured, then we deserve to give an explanation to the people, you know what I mean? So what's important is that we're back on track, and you know, the project is here.
What was the reason you came back to the project? What was the coming together moment or kumbaya moment? Was it this year? Was it studio time? What brought it back?
It was, when was that? I think a year and some months ago. We were having a conversation on WhatsApp, and there's a song that we had recorded that we were talking about, and it was, I think, a mama. That mama song, so we started having the conversation, like, hey, that song, do you have it? And Willz is like, oh, no, I lost the data for this song. And then the conversation just started building. I was like, yo, bro, I think we need to try and finish that project. But then we didn't start recording just there and then. So we had the conversation, and then after some time now, we just felt like, hey, bro, I think this is the perfect time.
I mean, the perfect time was 5 months ago. You spoke of how none of the songs on that project made it to the new project. Building from scratch with somebody that I know you've been in studio with, but knowing that there's that history, and also the pressure that comes with making music now, especially in 2024 with the numbers and the gimmicks and the social media uproar. Was it easy or hard for you to pick J-Rocks as the brand you're going to come back with, because this is your first album this year?
To start with, there was not any pressure, because if you know me, I don't do one style of music. I'm a dancehall artist, Afro, I'm a rapper. So music is very easy for me. It's very easy. I don't need a pen, I don't need a paper, I just need a mic and a beat. Something with Jay. So I'll tell you this about Jay. He's the quickest writer that I've come across. We don't need 2 hours to finish a song. We record some songs on the album, like we would record like 3 songs in like 5 hours. So it's nothing complicated like that. Also, I needed a match, like someone who would go with, for the fact that I switch styles, so I needed someone who's in those lanes. I felt like it would have been boring if I was just going to go with like someone who just raps all the way, or someone who sings all the way. If you listen to the album, at times I'm singing and Jay is rapping, at times is singing and I'm rapping. It's like that. So I felt like this was a perfect idea to jump on a project with Jay. Yeah. Amazing.
Now, if you're watching us home, feel free to call in. The number is on your screen. Let us know what your thoughts are on the album, already hitting, you know, and breaking milestones in terms of numbers. The album is titled Social Introverts, so you can call through and have a little hello with your favorites, J-Rocks and Mr. Willz. I like that he's spoken of the idea of switching and being able to be versatile, so he needed a match. Bringing on people like Dimple Williams and all the other collaborators on the album, why was it necessary to bring in those people? And also seeing that you already have something going on, collaborating itself might be hard for other people. So bringing people in, how was it picking the right people to do a part in a song that you already have 2 heavyweights on?
Dimple is someone that's always there, you know. I honestly feel Dimple is one of the most talented vocalists that we have in the country. And you'll be able to hear like a lot of his work going forward. So Dimple is always there when we're getting creative stuff done. And even those 2 songs, he happened to be at the right place at the right time, you know, with the right melody.
Exactly.
That was supposed to be like, this is just a reference. Like, I want to just add this idea so that you guys can hear what I'm hearing. And then he added it, and we're like, bruh, there's no way we're going to do doing that. You know what I mean? So that was already like, you know, Dimple was meant to be on the project. I like to look at it like that. Then also working with different producers was you know, sometimes you have a producer that gives you like a certain sound. They know how you sound like. So even the way they create the music is very much within your space. But the reason why we had to work with different producers is because we wanted to move into very uncomfortable spaces and try out different sounds. And as you know, different producers have got their own strengths. You know what I mean? There's like certain producers that are very strong on dancehall, certain producers, you know, you might not get it because some of them are versatile. They create certain, you know, they do different types of sounds. But I've been in the game long enough to know if I'm going to Shinko, what I'm going to get from Shinko.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Just before you move on with that, we have Janet on the line. Hi, Janet. How are you doing? Hello, Janet. Unfortunately, we've lost Janet. Keep trying. Our number is open to you, for you to call in and communicate with your stars. The show is about bringing you your favorites and having conversations with them. But you spoke about the attentiveness of working with a producer.
Yes. So I know what Shinko is going to bring to the table, and I think Willz has worked with Shinko before. There's some producers that I was working with for the first time, but Willz knows what they're capable of doing. And I also produced 2 songs on the project itself. So it was a very interesting experience because then you're dealing with different producers, and then also the sound is also getting mixed by different people. You know, like MT had to do the mixing and the mastering for 3 songs. You know, the other songs are being mixed and mastered this side, but also you need to make sure that the body of work sounds the same. So that also brings about that communication between, you know, the collaboration between different producers and sound engineers to also have that conversation, say how are we going to be able to make sure that this doesn't sound very far apart from the other.
Janet, you're back again. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Janet. I have Willz and, of course, the one and only J-Rocks in studio. Let us know what you think. Janet, please don't listen to the TV. Listen to me through the phone.
Reduce the volume. All right. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. We have your people in studio. Talk to them.
I wanted to say hi to J-Rocks and Mr. Willz.
Yes, say hi.
How you doing?
Yes. I'm the biggest fan for J-Rocks.
Thank you.
And Mr. Willz, we can't wait to hear your album.
It's already out.
All right, Janet, thank you so much for calling in. The album is out now. It's been out for the past day. You can go ahead and listen to it. There's one name on the album that appears. It's the boy Gordon.
Yeah.
I would like to hear more about him.
Okay, so the boy Gordon is a dancer slash Afro artist. He's a close friend of ours. He's just like Dimpo Williams. He's always with us. Yeah. So because when we were recording these songs, we did not think of, we're going to put this person on the album or we're going to put this person. So these guys are always in our space. And then there was a song me and the boy Gordon already did, and we thought this song can make sense if Che was to put his vocals on.
And that was the last song that we recorded on the album, actually.
No.
Yeah.
After we recorded, we had like 9 songs, and then they played me Crazy. And I just, you know, I listened to it, and I honestly feel like it was a very beautiful song, even before I added my verse. Like I didn't even know how to approach it until they created the space, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's see what we can do.
That's amazing.
So,
That's
sorry,
amazing.
on that day, because the plan at first was we were only going to have 7 songs on the album. And then after that, J-Rocks tells me, listen, there are a few people that we owe favors because they sent us beats that are on this album. So we need to return the favor. So he plays me a few beats. I like a few from what he played me. So I list the chorus and a verse, and they did this part. I ended up liking the song. I wanted to keep it for my album, my upcoming album. And then after that, I was like, you know, put your verse. J-Rocks puts his verse. I was like, you know what? We can throw this on the album.
And also, I noticed that at the time that we're making this decision, we've already sent the final 7 songs that were supposed to be on the project to TZ, and the team has already locked down everything. So this is what we're marketing plan, what.
Yeah.
Then now we had to call them, say, hey, listen, I think there's like 3 more songs that are coming through, so we need to start making adjustments, you know. So that's what happened.
That's amazing. I don't want to go without asking a few industry questions, but I would really like to get to hear from you guys who've made music then and making music now with all of that process and putting it into mind. But for you, we have a lot of up-and-coming artists that come onto the show, and one thing that I remember supporting you for was you were so different in your eyes that I just genuinely believed in your vision. So I want you to speak to the idea that there's gatekeepers in the industry, because you're seated in a place where Willz can just say his wills and the door will be open for him. So I'd like you to speak on that. And for J-Rocks, this year we saw a couple of people leave your umbrella, which is Headphone Music. Please clear that up. I know some have apologized, some have come through saying this and this happened. So that's also a conversation I would like you to just put a summary on. We start with Willz.
Okay, so when it comes to gatekeepers, I don't really believe in that. But when you are up and coming, the key thing is you have to be humble and talented. All right? I don't think there's any person that's already made it who's going to deny to give an opportunity to someone who's very talented and humble. I've seen a few people that have come, like, you know, this is when you're coming, you're trying to get a favor from someone who doesn't know you, someone who's not your relative, and then now you're coming to them like you are this person
entitled.
Yeah, like they need you. You know, why am I going to J-Rocks, who's not my relative, and then I'm coming with this arrogance when he could be helping people that are in his circle, people that are related to him? So there's not everyone, but I've seen a few artists that are coming up that are already big-headed. It's hard for you to get help like that. Secondly, nobody owes you any favor. If J-Rocks feels like helping someone today, that's up to him. If he doesn't, that's also up to him. You are on your own. You decided to become a musician because you feel it's your calling. So nobody owes you a favor. Remember, if you don't make it, if your parents are not supporting it or any of your relatives, you have to do it alone. Nobody owes you any favor. If they give you help in any way, just appreciate that they've given you help, because there's no such thing as gatekeepers. As I wake up, I'll go to KB and KB should help me, it's mandatory. No, it doesn't work like that, because you're on your own, my friend. That's how it is.
Jay?
Music is business. You know, I'm a businessman. I've been able to make something out of myself, and I understand the concept of investment, you know. Investment is in different forms. There's time, there's money, energy, and different things, you know what I mean? If I tell you, on the quest of helping artists, I have spent so much money that I haven't even gotten back 1 kwacha. Are you going to ask me the question that you asked me again, to say why have people left? You do business to make sure that the business makes sense. So when the business doesn't make sense, you can't keep on pumping in money when you're not getting in money. You're not getting back the money you're putting in. So you'll be a fool to be in a place where you get money and you're pumping and you're investing in something that's not returning the investment. So that's 1. 2, my solo career suffered on the quest of helping people. My family time suffered on the quest of helping people. I've got kids that are growing and they're in a stage that needs their father to be present. And some of them are doing music lessons, they're doing football. I need to be present. So you reach a point where you start gauging, start checking the scale and start thinking to say, okay, if I spend most of my time and my money on this person, that will wake up tomorrow after they become known and decide to say, oh, I'm going next door because I think they'll help me better. If I get that money and the time and I put it in my son will grow I don't want to, the day I get onto this conversation of breaking down the help, the investment, I think the day I do that, that'll be very immature, because I don't think even you people will look at these artists the same way. But I choose to protect them because I don't want to start talking about artist A, investment, time, return, zero.
That's very wise of you. That's very much
exactly. I mean, I'm not in the. There's young guys. They're talented. They stand a chance at becoming something and learning from their experience. So, if they're wise and if they listen and if they do some, you know, you look at yourself and you reflect. It's important to check, where did I also go wrong? Where did I do this? And like jumping from place to place, you know, seeking self-pity, you know, seeking some sort of sympathy from people, you know, work and make something out of yourself. The best way you can do is, if you moved from J-Rocks, go and become even bigger. That's what I want to see. But if you move from J-Rocks and then you start going down the trenches, then people should also ask themselves, say, where's the problem? Because J-Rocks is still J-Rocks. You understand?
I get
but
it.
you are
I get
going
it.
down.
It's a big conversation.
Where's the problem?
And
it's not a conversation I want to have.
You don't want to have it.
No.
I would really like to have that conversation.
Because if you have that conversation, then you're taking away the image that we have created for these artists. Because then you start to see them for what they are and the element that they're in. I want you to just focus on their creative space, their gift. That's the reason why the conversation is not needed.
Which is very hard when they bring the conversation to social media, because that's where we hear all of this from.
It's not just because the neighbor is frying something, it doesn't mean you need to know what they're frying. Sometimes you just listen that they're frying and you move on. The problem with Zambians is that you want to be in every conversation. And you're even giving things that don't require any attention when there's serious things that need to be attended to, like how young people today need to start thinking of working to make money so that we can also add something to the economy. But people want to go and listen to a young artist that's crying while there's 200 or 1,000 artists in my inbox that are asking. They don't even want me to get one kwacha and put into their music. They just want me to listen to their song. So now imagine a person that's been with you for 3-4 years and they never managed to get anything out of that experience. But sometimes you meet someone that you guide just for a day, and then 1 year later you see them becoming the artist that they wanted to become. So only take time to have conversations when you also see that it's progressive. Unlike talking about things that will end up denting this person, positioning this person a certain way and this person the certain way.
That is true. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. I would like to have another conversation to further take it, but to everybody who called in, everybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining.